What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I got to have that Teej pack. Teej makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliating scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teej Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teej Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teej Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a Dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teej Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a Dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teej pack. Feel the Teej, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys that continue to rock with me. What up, friends and family? What up? It is Wednesday. It is hump day, and I have a feeling that we are going to quite possibly upset some people today. Not intentionally, but just because I know what the sentiment of the people is. I know what the sentiment of the people is. What's up, friends and family? Y'all ready for Thanksgiving tomorrow? Well, we not gonna miss, so we still streaming tomorrow, straight from here in the studio. Still streaming straight from the studio. I'm gonna be here working, getting it. You know, I look at his holidays as an opportunity to actually beat everybody else and get ahead of you guys. When everybody else take their time on the weekend, I decide to go ahead and put in that extra work. Actually, it's not extra work for me. It's just a part of my norm, right? Sunday is just the same as Monday is. This is just the same as Tuesday. Thursday on a holiday is just the same as Wednesday. And so I just look at it as an opportunity to get ahead of everybody else. When everybody else is chilling and watching and getting to it and having good food and all of that, I'm going to do the same thing, except for I'm going to wake up at the same time that I did the day before. I'm going to go to bed at the same time as I did the day before. And I'm still going to grind and get it and have an opportunity to continue to beat you. And so it's impossible for you to catch me, because when you don't take days off, how can you then compete with a person that is relentless in his pursuit of greatness? You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all of the people. I appreciate you for continuing to tune in. Make sure you give a like to the Teej Hanley. Check out that Teej Hanley. It is a great sponsor. I'm telling you, it is a product that I use regularly. Teej Hanley, 30% off your first order plus a free gift. They are sponsoring a live stream and sponsoring the show, so we thank our friends over at Teej. Ladies, get it for the men for Christmas, for Thanksgiving, and every other day of the year. If you want him to be moving a little bit greater as far as his skincare routine. But fellas, you don't have to wait for the ladies to get it for you. 30% off your first order plus a free gift. The link is in the description. In addition to that, in addition to the Teej Hanley, we also have the Invest in Your Business series this Sunday, the 26th, November 26th. For everybody that responded inside of the Patreon of the recent post that I just put up yesterday, or the day before, actually, and said that they will be pitching their businesses. I'm looking forward to hearing y'all pitches. Make sure you condense them down so we can hear as many as possible. And if it's a decent idea, because I can't guarantee that I'm going to actually approve your business, but if it's a decent idea for a new business and you want to be able to vet out whether or not it's going to make sense for you to continue to pursue this thing, and you leveraging the information that we're providing both here on the Millionaire Morning Show and Patreon, including the meetups and everything like that, then make sure you pitch your business. It is for bag chasers only. Do not ask me if you can observe. No, you cannot if you are not a bag chaser. And then I will be giving out those grants at the beginning of the month in December in order to make sure that you guys are awesome, right? November 26th, that is the Build Your Business, Pitch Your Business. And then I allocated a lot of money in order to continue to take care of my bag chasers and make sure that their business is funded. Because sometimes you just need somebody to believe in you and to give you a little bit of a boost, and you got the rest for yourself. I don't believe in handouts, but I do believe in and giving people a little bit of a boost after you teach them how to fish, and then hopefully they can go out there and feed another village or impact somebody else a little bit more effectively. So that is my gift to you this Christmas. I'm looking forward to doing it. It is going to be an awesome Sunday. More details to come, 6 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be great. Shark Tank style. That's right, true to myself. It's going to be great. Let me give an acknowledgement to Mike, that dude, early super chatter. Early cash apper out here in the building. I appreciate you, Mike, that dude, for taking care of me and holding me down, and everybody that contributes to the platform. Give me a second. Let me respond to this text message. Everybody that contributes into the platform, absolutely, positively appreciate you. Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show because I got a theme today. Miss Lady J is in the building. Miss Lady J says, here's this 2-ball just for the collection plate. I appreciate you, Miss Lady J. Thank you, my love. Move Forward Prepping is in the building. Move Forward Prepping says, Anton, best MC dead or alive. Who you got? Best MC or best rapper in general? I think that Drake is number one right now. By far. I think that Drake has had a stranglehold on the music industry for over a decade and a half, and he shows no sign of letting up. And he just released the 6 tracks on the Scary Hours 3 that continue to solidify his position. I think that right now Drake is at the forefront of the movement, and he running it. He running the game. He been running the game for a long time. People may not necessarily agree with me. They may not necessarily like him, but it does not mean that he does not have a stranglehold on the industry. He has been controlling the industry for well over, and he hasn't had any misses either. That's the crazy part about it, because you know how people go through ebbs and flows, and then it's somebody else's time. No, he's still at the top. Outside of Taylor Swift, there's nobody even remotely in the same vicinity as him. So, yeah, I know that some of y'all is from different eras. You might have picked Run DMC, you might have picked Rakim, you might have picked Nas, you might have picked Jay-Z. Some people can pick Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, Tupac, Biggie, all of these different people. But by every measurable statistic, Drake is at the forefront of the movement, and it's not even close. So we going to get there. That's who I got. Thank you for the super chat. Let me read a couple more super chats, and then we're going to get started. Sexy Red recently commented on the ballerina teacher's IG post. She told her to play Pound Town and shut the F up. The comment got a lot of pushback, and she deleted it, and black people are finally waking up. Yeah, we got a theme today. The theme today is black culture, because we are going to bring the black culture to the front of the congregation. Shout out to John Doe. Yeah, we're going to get there. Everything today that we talking about, whether it be money, whether it be crime, whether it be politics, it's all going to be black today. So it's going to be an absolute positive hoot. Shout out to Christian West for the 5-ball. Miss Crow T. Shetty came in and said she my number one fan. I don't know, Miss Crow T. Shetty. It's a lot of people say that they love Time Dog out here in these streets. I was out here in Detroit at the gas station. Homie just ran up on me. Dude that I used to know gave me a bear hug. Shout out to Court. Forever is in the building, says, hey, Anton, been a bag chaser from jump from Sunday for Sunday. Is for Sunday anything that is an absolute no for you? as far as investing. No, I'm pretty open-minded. As long as I think that it will be. See, some business ideas are just dreams for people. And so my thing is, I want y'all to actually spend your time on something that could possibly be fruitful for you. I don't want y'all to just be saying, Anton, I want you to fund my rap career. Yeah, that's not a business. You know what I'm saying? So I'm pretty open-minded. I'm trying to go into this thing without any kind of just completely open-minded, just to hear what everybody got to say, because I want to hear the full pitches, and then we're going to go from there. So try to condense them as much as y'all can, and then we're going to go from there. So no, there is no absolute no's as of right now, but I know a no when I get one, so I hope y'all got thick skin too. Kenneth Chrysotome says, Anthony O'Neal is the new Hafiz with that D-riding Dave Ramsey response. Interesting, because I seen Anthony O'Neal's response, and well, I seen a part of it, and I'm going to be responding to that same girl in that same video. So we're going to go from there. Hey, how can you say Anthony O'Neal is the new Hafiz with the D-riding for Dave Ramsey if Dave Ramsey was responsible for putting Anthony O'Neal on? I don't agree with Anthony O'Neal on a lot of things, but y'all got to give homage and pay respects to one of the OGs. Dave Ramsey is an OG, and he is right about a lot of things. And I can also understand Anthony O'Neal holding down Dave Ramsey when Dave Ramsey is largely responsible for a lot of the visibility that Anthony O'Neal has today. Hold on. So I don't think that that's D-riding to pay respects. I would expect the people that I put on or I give visibility to hold me down. That'd be like, I mean, and I'm not comparing Anthony O'Neal to Drake, but that would be like Drake not holding down Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Y'all got to give some credit where credit is due. So shout out to Kenneth. We gonna have some uncomfortable conversations, yo. Chris Moore says that Tej has been great. Make sure y'all get that Tej Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Glenn Bronner says, thank you, Anton, because of you I have a new interview at a great job, great benefits and hours, and potentially a good deal more money. Thank you. Can we send a quick prayer up, the prayer hands, and up to pray for my dog, Glenn. Glenn, make sure you look at that Interview Like a King video that I got inside of the Patreon. I need that. I need you to look at that because we need you to go ahead and get that bag, big dog. J Dubs is in the building with the 25 ball. Said he wanted to drop something inside of the collection plate. Yeah, shout out to J Dub. I appreciate you, big dog. Jay Ben is in the building, says Drake in his Soulja Boy voice. Jadakiss is the real Mr. Never Miss. Yeah, right. Stop it. Stop. Don't do that. Please don't make me turn this into a hip-hop debate. Jamal Fowler is in the building, says dropping his offering off shake. Shout out to my dog, Jamal Fowler in the building. Fowler in the building. I appreciate you, big dog. All right, let's go ahead and get into the show. So, I put a little bit of a tester out there yesterday, and it was last night. And it was based off of a video that I had seen that's kind of going viral from a girl. And I actually reached out to her, but I guess I reached out to her a little bit too early because I was inviting her to be able to explain her position on the show today. But maybe we'll get her on here. Maybe we won't. I don't know. And I also have a show coming up maybe Friday, maybe Monday, where I'm going to have my dog Will Motivation on here. So we got a lot of people that's going to be coming onto the platform for the Millionaire Morning Show in order to share their expertise and also maybe their disagreements with me, and that they may see things a little bit differently from me. So I've been kicking it with Will Motivation, and I've been inviting a few different people, and we've been scheduling them to come on a platform. But today's show is called Black Culture, and I'm going to be reading the Super Chat shortly, so shout out to Be More Best. And the reason that I said that is because last night, and I didn't know that I was going to be doing this show today based off of this, but last night, I dropped a video at about 9 p.m. last night, and I was out at the gas station, and I was giving my thoughts, and I was basically sharing with the people how the culture and race is not the way by which you are evaluated today. Shout out to Shen C. I'm definitely going to be reading that Super Chat shortly. But we're going to get into it. So again, Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Also, Teach Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. The likes is looking a little bit anemic. Shout out to my people on YouTube. Shout out to my people on Facebook. Let's run it up. It's going to be a very, very uncomfortable show today for the people that may be running in the Victim Olympics and leaning on race hustling in order to continue to get their bag up. All right. So we got a lot of people we want to bring to the front of the congregation in order to evaluate this conversation. Hassan Campbell. I haven't reviewed anything from Umar Johnson lately, so we're going to bring him back up. The money plug, I think that's her name, Dave Ramsey. It's a lot of different things that we want to talk about, all right? So let's go ahead and let's get into quick hits. Quick hits is a part of the show where we don't think that it necessarily needs a full segment, but we want to keep you informed on what's going on out here in these streets. So first and foremost on quick hits is Sam Altman. Now, a lot of people may not be familiar with Sam Altman because they only are familiar with the technology that he's co-founded and then released over into the general public, which completely upended everything, right? But Sam Altman is the founder and former CEO and now back being CEO of OpenAI, which is the company that released ChatGPT and that Microsoft made a $12 billion investment into. That was recently upended because he was fired and released from his job off the board and the chairman. But he was recently reinstated. So let me bring y'all up to speed on what's going on over there.
Founder and ousted leader and will now return to OpenAI as CEO. We know that these negotiations have been going on in the last 24 hours or so. It was unclear what that actually looked like, but it looks like there is a preliminary agreement in place at the moment. It looks like some of the finer details now kind of getting hammered out. But you should also mention, it looks like the board is changing up as well. When you took at, remember, some of the previous members, you had Mira Murati, the chief technology officer, you had the chief scientific officer, as well as some of the other kind of experts in the tech space. Now it looks like we're going to get both Taylors, that's Brett Taylor, of course, D'Angelo and Summers, all in that new initial board, essentially creating a little bit more support for Sam Altman.
So just to give you a brief synopsis of what's been happening, he was recently fired by the board in a coup in which they felt like they would do better without him. I don't know how they would do that. It was similar to the Steve Jobs situation, where Steve Jobs was released in the late 80s, early 90s from Apple, even after founding a phenomenal company. And I see OpenAI going the same way, in which there was a lot of employees that revolted. Over 500 was willing to say that they were willing to leave the company. And then all of his homies that had executive positions that were around him also was saying that they were leaving and quitting as a result of the protests, which absolutely positively upset Satya Nadella, who is the CEO of Microsoft, right? Microsoft's artificial intelligence is largely powered by their investment in OpenAI, okay? And again, this is the company that basically runs and released ChatGPT, all right? So the OpenAI saga appears to be in a holding pattern, at least for the moment, as hundreds of employees threaten to leave en masse if the board didn't resign and reinstate Sam Altman as CEO of the artificial intelligence powerhouse. Microsoft CEO Nadella made it clear in the interviews Monday that the company wouldn't be opposed to Altman returning to OpenAI with changes to the board, including provisions to keep Microsoft from being surprised and admitted that it was on Friday learning of Altman's ouster minutes before the rest of the world. He says one thing, and I'll be very, very clear, is we're never going back to a situation where we get surprised like this ever again. That's done. I've never seen Nadella actually pull a move like this where he's so forthcoming and transparent in his thoughts and saying, listen, I'm not playing no games. This will never play out exactly how it played out again. He added that Microsoft would be more resolute in ensuring that its customers won't be surprised and will definitely take care of all other governance issues and anything like that. As of Tuesday morning, 95% of OpenAI's employees had signed a petition saying that they may choose to resign from OpenAI and join newly announced Microsoft subsidiary run by Sam Altman. And obviously, this is prior to Sam Altman's return to OpenAI as CEO and this chaotic win for Microsoft. So again, I told you guys that I'm going to be keeping an eye on this and that I was going to be paying attention and to ensure that I keep you guys up to speed, especially when it comes to your investments that you are making in these large companies on the stock market, as an opportunity to invest in companies that you otherwise would have never had an opportunity to do so. So again, I am a hardcore Microsoft fan as far as an investor. 25 to 28% of my portfolio is invested in Microsoft. They have done phenomenally this year, and Sam Altman seems to be back as CEO of OpenAI as a result of Microsoft pulling its weight and saying that they're not having it. All right. So that's what's going on that front. On another front, Tesla recently did a deal, $100 million deal with BP.
There's a new push to bring more charging stations for electric car owners. Oil and gas company BP is buying $100 million worth of EV superchargers for Tesla. The superchargers will not look like other Tesla chargers, as they will be branded with a BP Pulse logo. Installation for the chargers will begin next year at BP-owned locations and some third-party location like Hertz Car Rental.
So BP did a deal with Tesla. The oil giant did a deal with Tesla, and a $100 million deal with the oil giant, and said that it was only a matter of time. The fuel industry is starting to take notice of the increasing presence of electric vehicles in the automotive market. And one oil giant has taken steps to make the most of this popularity. BP announced in a statement that it has signed an agreement with Tesla that will bring $100 million worth of supercharger hardware to gas stations and third-party locations inside of the United States. They said, this is the official statement from BP via X, formerly known as Twitter. It said, we're buzzing to announce an investment of $100 million into Tesla ultra-fast EV chargers in the U.S. So basically what this means is now they're starting to transition and then add electrical charging to the gas stations in addition to the pumps in order to continue to build the infrastructure. And I'm sure that they're getting some kind of subsidy from the federal government in the Build Back Better plan and the infrastructure deal in order to make sure that they continue to stay along with the times, because the whole world is moving over into electrification, even though Americans are fairly stubborn. The entire world is moving over into electrification. And a lot of times the world is a lot more innovative than we are here in the United States of America. And so instead of sourcing out and building out and continuing to invest in the technology themselves, they then sourced a partner that is already really good at building infrastructure as far as the electrification of vehicles and building out this infrastructure. And they're just going to basically buy the technology from them and then implement it inside of their gas stations. Does anybody remember when I said that I had been vetting out the idea of partnering with gas stations? And I have been doing it, but silently, but vetting out the idea and partnering with gas stations in order to convert over. And I had been doing the due diligence of what it would cost me per electric charger in order to convert over into and partner with these gas station owners in order to continue to build out this infrastructure that I think that long term, 10 to 12 years from now, will be very, very fruitful financially for my company. Yeah, a lot of y'all don't remember that, but I have been talking about that way earlier this year, but on a much smaller scale than BP, obviously, because I don't have $100 million. So that is what's happening on the BP front. And then last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Walmart and Sam's Club is introducing electric chargers throughout the entire country for all of their stores. So Walmart announced plans to build EV charging stations at thousands of Walmart and Sam's Club locations across the country by 2030. They said with a club or store located within 10 miles of approximately 90% of Americans, we are uniquely positioned to deliver convenient charging options that will make EV ownership possible, whether people live in rural, suburban, or urban areas. Walmart's senior vice president of energy transformation said in a release, by installing charging stations across the country, Walmart makes owning an EV easier for drivers who worry they won't be able to find a place to charge their vehicle. Easy access to on-the-go charging is a game changer for drivers who have been hesitant to purchase an EV for concerns they won't be able to find a charger in a clean, bright, and safe location when needed. Already, 280 Walmart and Sam's Club locations in the U.S. offer nearly 1,300 fast charging stations of electric vehicles. The average non-electric car releases over 5 tons of harmful polluting air carbon each year. EVs, on the other hand, produce no tailpipe pollution, and even plug-in hybrid electric vehicles And electric vehicles produce far less tailpipe pollution than gasoline vehicles. So Walmart is now joining on the trend. BP is now joining on in the trend. And the electric vehicle adoption is here, whether you like it or not. They don't care about your feelings. Technology will move forward with or without you. And so it is coming. It is going to continue to be championed. They're going to continue to inspire private investment and infrastructure updates to make sure that this electric vehicle transformation is happening, and that they also reduce foreign oil independence, at least on a smaller scale. Okay, so that was your quick hits, and it's time to get started with the regular show. Yeah. All right, y'all ready to get started? Let me read a couple of the super chats, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Be More Best said, I got this 2-ball for the collection plate. And Shensi came through and says, anyone mad at Dave Ramsey probably ain't living right. Yeah. You may not necessarily agree with every take that he has, but if you just completely disagree with him, that sounds a little bit far-fetched. Y'all ready to get started with the show? All right, let's go ahead and get started. So, again, the name of the show is called Black Culture. That's the theme. And when I woke up this morning, it seems as though the thing that I needed to tackle before Thanksgiving. All right. I'll be reading super chats throughout the show. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. So, first and foremost, the thing that we've been seeing across the country for an extended period of time is that the majority of these stores is being ransacked, and a majority of the eyes that have been turning a blind eye to what's happening in your communities and your neighborhoods have been people that look like us, if we just want to keep it real. I hate to say it like this. I hate to have this uncomfortable conversation with you. I would prefer not to, because the only way that I could not have this conversation is if it wasn't happening. But for me to ignore, or for us to ignore that it is happening, would be doing the conversation a disservice, and we need to have an uncomfortable conversation. Let me bring you up to speed of what's happening across the country, ladies and gentlemen, and why we're starting off the show this way.
Dramatic video tonight of a mob taking everything not nailed down at a Nike store in South LA. Store employees say this isn't the first time this has happened and might have been the same group. KCAL News reporter Lori Perez is live outside the Nike community store in Watts, where thousands of dollars of merchandise was stolen. Lori.
Well, Pat, this store has been hit so many times, despite the fact that there is an LAPD trailer set up literally feet from the entrance. It is totally out of control here, so much so that some locals say they are willing to get involved to help stop it themselves. Tonight in this parking lot, neighbors are set up on one side of the parking lot as an LAPD car with officers are patrolling on another side. It's the latest stunning video of a flash mob theft. This time, a group clearing out the Nike community store in Watts, throwing stacks of shoes and armfuls of clothing into trash bags they used to carry out the loot. LAPD says just before 6 p.m. Sunday, 17 suspects rushed into the retailer and rushed out with about 12 grand in product. They released these photos, hoping someone recognizes a face or the clothing. Investigators say it's at least the 10th time it's happened at this very store.
10 times at least. They have a LAPD permanent location inside of the parking lot, cars outside of the parking lot, and it has gotten so bad to even black people that used to turn a blind eye is saying that we don't want to turn a blind eye anymore because y'all ruining our reputation, y'all ruining our community. The stores don't even want to continue to stay open over here in the neighborhoods that we exist in. And we tired of it, boss. We tired of it, boss. I think that there's a changing of a tide that's happening right now, and that there's a lot of people that's saying that we's tired, boss. We tired, boss. I'm not the only person that's been at the forefront of this movement that said that we needed to do away with what our cultural norms are. But this flash mobbing and this robbing and this killing and stealing, I just did a report yesterday over in Chicago where these young dudes, 14-year-olds, have been busting through and taking people's stuff and going in people's cars and robbing houses They found him in an alley, unalived. Y'all know how y'all like to say unhoused. Y'all want to be politically correct. Okay, we're going to go there. We need our $30 million. They found him in an alley, and nobody was mourning from him. Nobody was trying to figure out who they were. Nobody was trying to understand what their parents looked like. Nothing. People was just like, you know what? Oh, well. Oh, well. Shout out to you. I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly, 187. Oh, well. We's tired, boss. So 17 of y'all come in and get $12,000 worth of merchandise. That's not even $1,000 per person, and you're going to sell it at a significant discount because you can't sell it at the same price that you're selling retail, so y'all doing it for pennies. You're ruining your neighborhood. You're ruining your communities. The mothers ain't nowhere around. Fathers don't even exist. And then you want to tell me how we need to still embrace the culture. Okay. Newski says, when is Yaki Awaken podcast coming? It's being edited right now. Here. Y'all want me to tell y'all when it's coming? I'll tell y'all when it's coming. Let me see.
Hello?
Hey, I'm on the live stream.
Oh, okay.
People want to know when the
I
yacht.
just uploaded Kwame last night.
Oh, did you? Okay, so we'll drop that, and then you working on the Yaki Awaken next one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Bye. I'm frozen. All right. Let me see if I can fix that. Give me a second. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's see if we can fix it. All right, there we go. We back. So, my editors is working on it. We got the Kwame going up. I got Boom Man coming. I got Yaki Awakened. I got my dog Averb. Averb is coming. We got a lot of interviews that we doing. All right. So let's continue to run it up.
24 hours after the latest hit.
I just think it's sad. It's sad that this is what it's come to.
Some paying customers are shaking their heads in frustration as others,
it's just embarrassing, man,
say they're ready to do more than that. This group was camped out in the Nike parking lot tonight.
So now, guess what? We patrolling right here, and this is where we gonna be at. It gotta stop, and we gonna put a stop to it. We don't need no police involved. We're gonna take it to the streets.
Tough talk from locals.
Reading the super chat shortly.
Targeting personally.
yeah, I'm born and raised right here, you know what I'm saying? So like y'all take it from me.
Why is it frustrating to you?
Cause we ain't the one doing it and we live here. But if they come right here while we right here, they won't be the ones doing it either.
Right.
Guarantee that.
Black people tired, boss. Regardless of gender, sexual orientation, affiliation, look, tattoos, hair, they tired, boss. I know that y'all like to be, we visual people, right? Meaning that a lot of times we take whatever the vessel is and we criticize the vessel, but we're not necessarily paying attention to the message. I'm listening to what the people are saying. And the people from all walks of life, they not turning a blind eye to it. I seen this clip of them robbing this store on Willie D's. It popped up in my feed on Instagram, and it was on Willie D's Instagram. You know how people be taking the videos and they be putting it up on it as they own in order to continue to keep traction up for whatever their Instagram profile is. And Willie D was like, I'm not saying that stealing is right. It's wrong. It's two left shoes, but we shouldn't do this or we shouldn't. And people was in the comments going in, and it was like, man, nah, we tired, boss. We're tired of first being stereotyped based off of what the worst of us is doing. We're tired of them stealing and then turning our neighborhoods into retail deserts and food deserts. Because eventually what they do is they close and they walk away and they say, we're not going to continue to deal with this nonsense. We're losing more than we're putting into it. Why should we keep the doors open? It's over for all of that stand on code just because of something that you can't necessarily control as far as the look of what you are and the color of your skin and all of that. We tired of that. They saying in their own neighborhood, and shout out to them. Kudos to the people over in that neighborhood that said, listen, if they come over here, they ain't never going to be coming over here doing that junk again. Shout out to the people over in LA and in Watts that's standing up in their own community and they saying, snitch, tell, take it into your own hands. The police is good to be over here, but we're not going to depend on them because we're going to assist in our own success by holding ourselves accountable before we ask for help from anybody else.
Just last month, LA County leaders touted the success of the recently formed Organized Retail Theft Task Force, made up of sheriff's deputies, LAPD, and the feds, saying since its start in August, the team has made 89 arrests and recovered more than $370 grand in stolen merchandise. Until those efforts reach Watts, some who live here say they are going to help protect their own.
Look, take a look. We look good. We finally doing something. They need to just leave us alone. They need to go about their business. Don't ever come back here. This community already rough. They just making us look bad.
And I feel it the same way. I feel the same way. Regardless of how y'all may not necessarily agree with the look or how they communicate, I feel the same way. When you start to get something good, you start to take pride in your stuff. When you cut your grass, you don't want to see people throwing trash out on your lawn. You want to inspire your neighbors to then do the same thing and clean up their neighborhood or clean up their spot. Usually when you cut your grass, the neighbors be like, well, I don't want to look too bad either. Let me cut my grass.
Well, only on 2 tonight, an inside look at Houston's organized retail crime problem. Thank you for joining us at 10. I'm Keith Garvin.
Good evening. I'm Daniela Guzman. Well, the holiday shopping season is here, and groups of criminals are targeting certain stores for specific items that can be resold online quick and easy.
Tonight, these 5 people are charged not for stealing expensive electronics, but because Houston police say they've been hitting Bath and Body Works stores in our area, going after.
Look at the suspects, y'all. Look at the people that have been arrested, suspects, 4 girls and 1 guy. The girls is just as, if not worse than the guys when it comes to the things that men used to be arrested for. I know y'all said y'all wanted to be equal accountability partners, but look at them. Look at them, y'all. Get a close look. Get a close look at them. 4 girls, 1 zesty. 4 girls, 1 zesty. And he had a painted on hairline, and that's why he's missing a patch up here. 4 girls, 1 zesty. Most of them have cornrows in their head. Most of them have braids. Couple of them got tattoos on their neck. Soon to have tattoos on their faces. There is a look, a stereotype. Please don't tell me that I'm not supposed to profile people because that's how you stay safe. There is a look of the people that are committing the crimes, doing the theft, doing the stealing, taking advantage of your color and your skin and then your privilege of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and not doing the thing that's in our best interest at all. There is a look. And now it's starting to be more women than it is men that are the culprits and that are the people that are doing all of the crimes in our environment, along with 1 male best friend that probably takes showers and do their makeup together.
For 3 wick candles. KPRC2's Bryce Newberry is live on the northwest side tonight with this story you will see only on 2. Bryce.
Keith and Daniela, these candles go for about $30 each. They make great gifts and they smell up an entire room, but Houston police say this group of alleged thieves has been walking right out of stores like this one with dozens of them at a time. And this particular store behind me has been hit 5 times just since June. Scents like Bright Christmas Morning, Merry Cookie, and Flannel are just a few of the fragrant forward 3-wick candles from Bath and Body Works. So delightful smelling, they've become a red-hot item for thieves.
You know how you know people are dumb? Not only are they stealing and doing the things that's the worst for the community, but that specific retail theft ring struck 31 times. Meaning that they probably ran out of stores to hit, and then they started doing all of the other stores over and over and over again. 31 times. They said, we're going to do it until we get caught. We're going to run it up. We gonna steal every single candle that we can get our hands on until we get caught. They made a whole career. They said, listen, this is a job for us. Their job is to steal. The devil's job is to steal, kill, destroy, and create confusion within a community. Their job, they would set out, and apparently it became so profitable for them to do so that they spent the majority of their time going forward, and pillaging their communities. 31, at least 31 times out here in Houston. Shout out to Houston. Houston is becoming a new Atlanta.
Thieves. They're very expensive and they sell them on the streets for a low dollar. So everything's just a profit for them.
Detective James Knipe is on HPD's organized crime squad, and since last August, he's been piecing together a ring.
Candles, body sprays, lotions, air fresheners.
Of criminals with a specific taste.
How were they operating?
They were walking into the stores, usually taking the bags or the totes, store totes, filling them up with product and walking right out the door with them, passing all points of sales.
Investigators have identified 27-year-old Valisa Allen as the ringleader.
Oh, the ringleader is not a girl. The second participant is the guy that got the spray that's disappearing from the top of his head.
With her boyfriend, 25-year-old Sterling Hester.
Shout out to Sterling. Sterling and what was the Sugar Bear from Set It Off? Queen Latifah. Sterling and Queen Latifah. Ain't nothing like being a criminal couple. Shout out to all of the couples that's participating in each other's criminal activity. Hopefully y'all don't have kids together. Ain't nothing like a criminal couple that's out here doing what they do and then recruiting other criminal women to participate in the theft ring.
Sterling Hester. In 1 month, charging documents show the couple stole 352 3-wick candles and other items totaling near $10,000.
Nia Gatson, Monique Hudson, Ravonna Williams.
Look at
those 3 women have also been charged in connection to the ring. Tomball police say captured in these surveillance images taking products from a store earlier this month. Since June, Houston police say they've struck 31 times, sometimes in the same day, other times returning to the same store, from Texas City to Conroe to Pearland.
There has been multiple occasions where they were arrested, let out on bond, and they continue to do the same thing all the way up until the day we put them in jail.
A National Retail Federation survey found Houston is among the top cities affected by organized retail crime, a problem state leaders say is increasing in intensity.
Look at the list, y'all. Let's go back to the list. The top cities for organized retail crime. Somebody tell me if one of y'all cities is on this list. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Houston, New York, and Seattle. All blue cities. Every city on this list is not a conservative, red-leaning city. It is a liberal, democratic, blue city. And y'all gonna sit here and have a conversation with me and then tell me how it's the community and it's the system that's set up to fail you. The system sets you up to steal within your own community, right? Los Angeles is number 1. San Francisco / Oakland is number 2. Houston, number 3. Seattle, number 5. Number 4 is where Eric Adams is having a tough time and he's cutting the budgets, is number 4.
Top cities affected by organized retail crime, a problem state leaders say is increasing in intensity.
If this happens more and more, maybe the merchants will close the store and you have nowhere to shop.
Joyce Beebe from Rice University's Baker Institute is part of a statewide task force now working to combat the problem in Texas. She says the pandemic made people more comfortable shopping online.
Criminals also capture this element and they realize, well, if I remain anonymous, online, maybe people will not ask me for my identity, and they don't really ask where my merchandise is coming from.
Investigators say many of the stolen scents end up on Facebook Marketplace, unless police catch you like they did in Montgomery County in May. Deputies chased Bath & Body Works theft suspects before they crashed into the median.
It's a real bad issue here.
So now, here's the key. Here's the key before we move over into Hassan Campbell. Now, you have to even take a pulse or check your pulse and your moral compass as far as whether or not you actually are participating in the retail theft ring as a consumer if you decide that you want to get it for cheaper online. Ain't that crazy? Because if you know better, now you got to do better. And so if you see somebody selling candles, and this is the worst, let me tell you what the worst part about it. It's not just the fact that it's becoming a retail or a food desert, or you don't have any stores, or nobody want to open up any jobs or supermarkets in your community. The worst part about it is this. Let's say you are somebody that's actually legitimate, right? Let's say you're a reseller, or you bought it at a discount, or you a shoe seller, or you just got some stuff that you want to get rid of. Let's say maybe some Louis Vuitton purses because you want to upgrade, or maybe you want to get rid of it because you want to move on and you need the money for whatever reason that you're a legitimate person. By default, anybody that purchases from you online, especially when it comes to Facebook Marketplace, they're going to question whether or not they're buying stolen merchandise, because the overwhelming majority of what you then fence or what you then see being sold online is also stolen merchandise. Hot items all across eBay, Facebook Marketplace, the whole nine. People have to come in with a skeptical eye because they're trying to figure out whether or not you actually got them fenced. And even though they're trying to save money, they may be even contributing into the retail theft ring by giving you money because you are the criminal that then goes out and steal all of the stuff. It's messed up, ain't it? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But this is what's happening in your communities. Do you see the theme that's going to happen today? Don't worry about it. We're going to get it for this Thanksgiving. Let me read some of the super chats, and then we're going to move over into Hassan Campbell. Newski came through with the 2-ball. I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you, Newski, for continuing to hold me down. My dog, 187, says, I'm telling you, Anton, a Frank Castle will emerge. I don't know. Newski came through and says, when is Yaki awakened? I did call my editor, and then we got that popping. I'm going to read yours, Blaze Skywalker, last because you contributed a lot. Frank is in the building with the 20-ball, says, how is it that holiday season, the culture is getting, why is my camera continuing to be froze? I understand this, John. Come on now. Happening out here in these streets? Why is my camera froze? Hold on, y'all. Let me fix this. See if I can get this issue sorted out. I don't like that. All right, let's get back to the show. How is it that on holiday season, the culture is getting exposed left and right? Diddy turned out to be suspect. Hassan is full of pain. And EYO in the financial literacy space may no longer be relevant after DJ Envy. I think the financial literacy space is going to be fine. Because people got to get their information. Shout out to Frank. I appreciate you. Chris Moore is in the building, says, Ninja happens every day in Chicago. Ain't it tripped out how everything is now being normalized? Devontae is in the building, says, AD, I live in LA off Hollywood Boulevard. I have to wait at Target sometimes 10 minutes just to wait for a worker to unlock the shelves just to get the toothpaste. Ain't that crazy? So unfortunate. Jeweled Alchemy is in the building. Soap Company says, buy Jeweled Alchemy soap. We're legit. Make sure y'all go and check out that Jeweled Alchemy soap. They have a great company with a great product. Marcus X is in the building, says, my city, San Fran in Oakland, black business was just burned down in Oakland the other day. Bay has gangs that are diverse. I've seen it. Crazy visual. Thank you, Marcus X, for that insight. Gerald Sanders Jr. says, soon stores are going to have you buy in-store product on a tablet, and then they bring it out from the bag. I don't even think they're going to do that because they don't even want to have it in the bag. People be stealing after hours. Big at 1M Dub says, did you hear about the alleged money laundering at Social Status and China Ties? 32 million found in shipping boxes. No, send that to me. Email that to me. Anton Daniels 413@gmail.com. And then my dog, Blaze Skywalker in the building, says Anton sent Axel Foley back. A lot of people not familiar with Axel. Beverly Hills Cop. Shout out to my dog, Eddie Murphy, Axel Foley in the building. Shout out to Blaze. I appreciate you for the 50 ball. Continuing to hold me down. Thank you, my friend. Absolutely, positively appreciated. And everybody that contributed over to the platform. Let's move over for the show. Thank you, Blaze. Thank you to everybody that contributes over to the show. Now, I've never, not to my knowledge, sponsored by Teach Hanley, 30% off your first order, plus a free gift. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I don't think that I've ever actually reviewed a Hassan Campbell video. Mainly because it's not necessarily relevant to my audience or what it is that I'm doing. And so just because a content creator may have some visibility does not necessarily mean that it warrants review from me unless it's a relevant conversation that we're having on the platform at that particular time. And so it just so happened that we just so need to tackle the culture and then bring it to the forefront of the congregation of what's right and what's wrong with it so that we can hopefully glean something from it and then make better decisions as we go forward, right? But Hassan Campbell, very popular YouTuber, content creator, and he's been in the news a lot. No, actually, you know what? I take that back. I did review a Hassan Campbell on a live stream before when we thought that his channel had got taken down or something like that, right? But in a general sense, Hassan Campbell is a content creator on YouTube, can draw a very large audience, but he's becoming more well-known for fumbling the bag and doing crazy stuff than he is from being a content creator, right? And so I think that there's some learned lessons from this. I did pull a couple of videos from his recent live streams that he's done. But largely, one of the things that he's known for is from being molested from your legends, Africa Bambaataa, I believe, and the people of yesteryear. And then also being a hood dude that speaks to specific issues. And I think he's more of a conspiracy theorist than he is a actual realist. But that's just my opinion. I don't have anything to say about him either way. But Hassan Campbell is in the news. And one of the reasons that he's in the news is because he decided to be a tough guy and go back to the hood and live stream from the hood in real time. And then something didn't go his way. Let me show you. So he in the projects. Look like he in the projects over in New York. I'm going to speed this up 1.5 times. Or 1.25 times. Yeah, he in the projects. See if I can fast forward it a little bit. This nigga got on a pink hoodie, pink hat, and set up his camera in the projects. Jesus Christ. Boy is asking for it. Talk about making yourself a target. This dude is set up in the projects, live streaming. What is wrong with this dude? What is keeping it real going wrong? Boy, don't you know you fooled out there? With all of that tough talk, you be talking about a lot of other rappers and stuff.
What y'all telling me? Exactly, what is the world telling me? Cassie could get $50 million for being in a relationship that she don't like. But I can't even get no attention for the shit that was done to me in Bronx River. The fuck is y'all telling me? What is y'all telling me? What is the world? What are we saying? I didn't ask nobody for fucking money. What are y'all telling me? What is y'all telling me? What is y'all telling me? Stop calling my fucking phone. I'm in the hood. Y'all know where to find me. 1455 Bronx River, Harvard Ave. I ain't ducking nothing. What are y'all telling me?
All right, I'm going to let this play out. But let me just give y'all a little bit of advice going forward, okay? If you are a person that talks recklessly on the internet regularly about the people in your own city, you should probably not do a live stream and give out the address of where you at and live stream it in real time. Let me say it again. The people that's probably calling his phone that has his phone number are the people that's probably trying to save his life and saying, hey, fam, that's not a good look for you. I just seen you online. We know where you at. You should probably get up out of there. That's probably not a good idea, especially when you are a very, very, very relevant and popular person that talks recklessly, regularly, whether you right or whether you wrong. If you got ops and you got enemies in your same city, you probably want to be a little bit more careful about giving out your location and trying to keep it too real. I'm going to let this play out.
What the fuck is y'all telling me? What the fuck is y'all telling me? This ain't gonna go viral. They're gonna keep this shit real small. Because don't nobody give a fuck about the kids in the hood getting fucked. I don't want to be in the industry. I don't like the industry. I totally disrespect the industry. I'm in the hood. Nobody likes me in my hood. I robbed these niggas. I extorted these niggas. I put these niggas on a curfew. Y'all already seen. I'm in the hood. Where it is what it is. It is what it is. Ain't nobody gonna make me go nowhere. But I'm just saying. What is y'all telling me? My life and my pain wasn't worth nothing? That's what the fuck y'all telling me? Everything I went through as a child. Everything I went through wasn't worth nothing? That's what y'all telling me? That's what y'all telling my kids? You expect me to give back to a fucking community that ain't give shit to me? What the fuck is y'all telling me? What is y'all telling me? Where the wolves at? Where everybody at? Where the wolves at? What the fuck is everybody telling me? My story wasn't worth shit?
Why do he continue?
My story wasn't worth shit. I ain't asked for no money. I asked for street justice. Couldn't even get that. I swear to God, y'all niggas better not say nothing to me. Word to my mother. Word to my mother. Word to my mother. Bronx River, everybody. I'm talking to all of y'all. Word to my mother. I will kill everybody out this motherfucker with my motherfucking knife. I won't back down from nothing. The hood ain't gonna support me. Y'all support rape niggas? Y'all support niggas that rape? Word to my mother. I'm willing to go all out with everybody. Everybody. Step outside. I don't give a fuck who got a problem. I'm here in Bronx River right now. Y'all don't like me because of what I said. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Ain't no fucking talking. Niggas don't like me. Step up right now. Everybody. Y'all support niggas that rape niggas?
Hey, is this all right? So I just got a genuine question. I don't have an opinion yet. I want to watch the rest of the video before I get there. I don't have an opinion yet. Is this? Give me. I'm gonna give you 4 options, and I want the people in the chat to tell me. Shout out to Dead Pill React. I want the people in the chat to tell me. I'm gonna give you 4 different options of what I think this could possibly be. A, mental breakdown. B, clout chasing. C, genuinely concerned about the children in the hood. Or D, both A and B together. All right, so we're going to do this over again. A, clout chasing. B, mental breakdown. C, genuinely care about the children in the hood. Or D, both A and B, clout chasing and mental breakdown. Y'all let me know in the chat. Is it A, B, C, or D? Now, D is both A and B together. Let me say it one more time for the people in the chat. A, clout chasing. B, mental breakdown. C, actually care about the children of the hood. Or D, both A and B, a mental breakdown and clout chasing. What is wrong with this dude? Oh my God. Let me play the rest of this video. Make sure y'all hit a like. The likes is low. We got over 2,100 people watching this right now. The likes is low, man.
I'm not backing down from nobody. I'm in the hood right now. Let's go.
Hey, stay away from these type of dudes, bro. They're going to crash out. They're going to get y'all hit. Seriously.
What I
see y'all saying D. D. D, D, D. I see a lot of D's in the chat. B, A,
I ain't
and B.
Nobody.
D, A, and B.
For 30 million. Or 50 million. Nah, fuck that. Nah. Nah.
Look at all them dudes behind him.
Nah.
Nah. I'm not going nowhere where I get a keep
Y'all
my head
niggas
on the
support
swivel.
rape culture and this shit. Y'all niggas support rape culture and this shit. Y'all support rape culture and this shit.
I see a lot of B's and C's, D's and A's. Y'all say D's. I see more D's than anything. Y'all saying that he's a mental breakdown and his clout chasing at the same time? Keeping it real goes wrong.
Everybody feel sorry for Cassie.
Dog, you
Y'all
want to
feel sorry for Cassie.
You want a cookie, bro?
But y'all don't have nothing to say about everybody that went through what the fuck they went through in Bronx River with Africa Bambaataa. Nobody has nothing to say about what the fuck everybody went through in Bronx River with Africa Bambaataa.
Okay, so for the people that's just getting in here, I think the word on the street, according to Hassan Campbell, is that his backside and his front side have been touched and used for Africa Bambaataa's pleasure, to put it lightly, if I'm not mistaken. If somebody is off, if I'm off, somebody correct me inside of the chat. And so now you feeling some type of way, but when Cassie got her own financial justice, bro, you live a good life. Hassan Campbell makes a decent amount of money as a content creator on YouTube. You live a good life. What is going on with Hassan, y'all?
Puff.
Hold on. Let me let this play for a little bit.
With that 19-year-old girl, but y'all knew she was 19 years old when he started fucking her, and y'all had nothing to say about that. Nah, yeah, let's talk about it. But where the hood at? Where the hood at? They said I couldn't come back outside, right? I dare you niggas. 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 Your mothers will not live in these projects. I dare you niggas. Fuck somebody tell me I can't do what? Y'all let that rape nigga come back to Bronx River but gonna tell me I can't do what? I dare you niggas.
Yo, Hassan Campbell is nuts. What is wrong with this dude? Is this y'all guy? Do y'all rock with Hassan Campbell? I'm just curious. Put it one in the chat if Hassan Campbell is y'all guy, or put a 2 in the chat if y'all just used to seeing him crash out. I don't watch his stuff that often, so I'm not familiar with what's going on.
Run where? Run what?
This dude is nuts, man.
Cassie could get $50 million.
I'm gonna fast forward it a little bit.
Y'all playing with Poppy. I dare you niggas. I stab you niggas with a fucking spoon.
Jesus Christ. You need to get up out of there ASAP, bro. You need to get up out of there ASAP. Dead Pill reacts. It gets worse.
I stab you niggas with a spoon. I birthed you bitch ass niggas. No Bam did. That's why y'all let that other nigga rape all these kids out here and got mad because I called that bitch nigga out. He raped niggas out here, raped girls and boys, and y'all let that nigga.
Why don't you file a criminal complaint?
I refuse to tuck my fucking tail in. I'm the realest nigga forever, forever, ever, forever. Forever.
Bag for bag. I'm gonna read that shortly, fam. Thanks for the super chat.
Come outside, throw that fucking bottle. Come downstairs and throw that bottle. Come.
They throwing bottles at this dude from the top. Listen, fam. Look. One thing I learned about New York from New York rappers, from the Wu-Tang Clan to Mobb Deep to Nas and all of them, is that they be on the rooftops. It's some rooftop boys that throw stuff down at you, that shoot down at you and all of that. The projects is the last place that Hassan Campbell wants to go and live stream at.
Downstairs and throw that fucking bottle. Come outside and throw that fucking bottle. I stab your ass to death. Bitch ass nigga, come outside and throw that bottle. Come outside and throw that bottle. If I see that bottle come out the window, I guarantee you I come outside, I live in this building, I'll come upstairs and fuck you up. Word to my mother. Word to my mother. Throw it again. Throw the bottle out the window again, bitch nigga. I'll stab your mother to death. I throw your mother down the flight of steps. Bitch nigga, throw it out the window. I dare you. I dare you. I'm watching. I dare you. Throw that fucking bottle out the window while I'm watching. Throw the bottle out the window while I'm watching.
This dude is out of his mind. He is out of his mind.
Don't wait for me to turn my back. Come downstairs. Come downstairs. Come downstairs. Good, right? Keep it moving. Keep it moving. It's good, y'all.
Did this dude got a knife? Hold on. Let me rewind.
While I'm watching.
Is that a knife? Did he just have a knife on the live
Don't wait for
stream?
me to turn my back. Come downstairs. Come downstairs. Come downstairs.
Talk about incriminating yourself on the internet. What is wrong with these people?
Good, right? Keep it moving.
Hey, y'all need to pray for Hassan. Real talk. Seriously, bro. Y'all need to pray for Hassan. Yo, seriously, man, these people don't even need to be, they don't need to be live streaming, bro. They need to be getting some help in real life. Anybody that will make a conscious decision to do this on a live stream is out of their mind, bro. I don't want to hang out with these type of people. I don't want to be friends with these type of people. Somebody that's walking around with a knife on a live stream talking about come outside and a kill box and a kill zone inside of the projects, live streaming their locations and naming their locations is crazy. I'm going to just skip ahead, bro. I don't even want to. This is dumb.
Don't stay in the window. Come outside with the shooters. Everybody got something to say. Until a real nigga got something to say. Everybody got something to say. Until a real nigga got something to say. Come outside. That's my shit right here. Throw something else out the window. I promise you, I'll throw your mother.
Why do hood dudes, let me ask y'all a question. Why do hood dudes say that somewhere is their place, but they don't actually own it? How y'all control somewhere that y'all don't even own? Y'all don't have no ownership of it. That's not your space. You ain't got no property taxes. You ain't got no rental income from it, but y'all own stuff, right? And this is what y'all want to keep telling me is dope. This is what's dope about the culture. Y'all got over 2,300 people in here watching live. I need y'all to get the likes up. But is this what the culture is about? Is this what we doing out here in these streets? Is this what life is about for us, y'all? I'm just curious.
Down some steps. Throw something else out this window and let me catch you. I know every floor, every apartment. I will throw your mother. And while I'm throwing your mother down the flight of steps, I'm going to throw you down the flight of steps.
Jesus.
You little niggas. Y'all niggas got me fucked up.
Who was the dude in the back?
What up, though?
Who the dude in the back?
What up, though? What up, though?
This is not a good look, bro. This ain't good for you, bro. I don't know if he's trying to go viral or what.
I see. Who that?
Take the second exit on Westchester Avenue.
I need to get to the hospital quick.
Nah,
leave him. Come on, go. I got you. Go straight. I need to get to the hospital. I got you, son. I'm gonna get you.
Red light camera reported ahead.
Ooh, wait.
Took all that bass out of his voice, huh? All that bass, He said, ooh. Oh, that hot lead brought you right on back down to your senses. Knocked some sense right back into you, didn't it? Ooh, it's burning right here. Listen. Ooh. Look at this fool.
What up, people? Y'all see me up in this hospital bed. Toe up. Right now, they're about to take this bullet out. Got a miserable night sleeping in this hospital, boy. Bags looking crazy. Braids looking nasty.
Y'all too old for this, bro.
Shape up.
Got gray hairs and y'all still thugging?
I'm still alive. I'm still alive. Oh, man.
Wasting hospital resources.
There. All night.
What an idiot, man. This is the dumbest.
So this is the bullet that got me right here. Piece of cake.
All right, shut up.
Here are my thoughts after watching the full thing, right? Almost the full thing. I skipped through all of the yelling and the screaming and the projects to him actually driving to the hospital, had to go and get in his car, drive to the hospital. Then they took the bullet out of him, right? Here's my thoughts. At what point do we become too old for this? You got bags under your eyes. You survived. Oh man, here we go with this again. I don't like my camera going off. I'm gonna try to fix this while I got this going together. Apparently, I'm having camera problems today, ladies and gentlemen. You got bags under your eyes. You survived old enough to actually be able to have some level of success when it comes to content creation and YouTube. You got some visibility. You got a platform in order to be able to express your thoughts. and you out here crashing out. You out here crashing out. You got gray in your beard. You got people that depend on you. And obviously you said you got kids. And you over here out in the hood, in the projects, in the Bronx, asking for trouble and carrying a knife and recording it on a live stream. Somebody help me to understand how this makes sense, y'all. Somebody help me to understand how this makes sense. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. I don't know why y'all continue to embrace this tough guy culture. And you know what's so funny? When I say, yeah, man, I walk away from 99% of everything that could come into my purview because I'm trying to get home at night to my daughter. Y'all say that I'm crazy. But then y'all got him going out there and crashing out, and now y'all saying that he crazy too. So, okay, which one is it? Do you stay away from it and try to do the thing that's in your own best interest, or do you run into it and you try to crash out as a result of it? I'm just curious. Why not just speak to the culture, emphasize whatever it is that you feel like is important to you on your platform, and walk away from it? What is wrong with these people? Hassan Campbell for y'all, ladies and gentlemen, to deep dive into him. I've never actually deep dived into what he got going on. I'm going to read some of the super chats, and then we're going to move over into the next segment of the show. Because we got, what we got coming up next? Umar Johnson. Got Umar Johnson coming up next. Brittany B says, Pam, my respects on this Thanksgiving weekend. 2 years ago, I got connected to one of the greatest teams on YouTube. Thank you. And that Union Rays is sitting nice. Salute to the Chasers. Shout out to Brittany. She came out to kick it with me and meet me for the second time out in D.C. Shout out to you, Brittany. I appreciate you, baby girl, for the super chat. Forsaken Archives is in the building, says, when will you interview Detroit survival training cop? About what? I don't know. What do y'all want me to ask him? Like, it's got to be relevant to the platform. I don't want to just interview people just for the interview them. Thank you, my friend. Forsaken Archives. Marcus X says, imagine Anton doing what Hassan did. Shaking my head. He needs a mentor. Anton at his big old afterwards. He needs to join a Patreon. Thanks for being a good man, AD. If y'all ever see me going to crash out like that, please pull my coattails and hold me accountable so I ain't out here looking like a fool. 187 says, if I'm a Mark was a person, asking for it. Cody Marshall says, I saw this on O'Shea's channel. They was throwing bottles at him from the top floor. Can't be in other people's hoods doing that. Can't be in the hood doing it even if it's your hood. Marcus X says, his big old age, I was typing too fast. I get it. Jay Ben is in the building, says, boy, really went to be free lunch. When I went back to NY, I just drove through the hood. I didn't even stop at a gas station near the Jets. Son is wild. I don't even drive through it. I just don't even want to be a part of it. I'm going to just stay in my little bubble. You know what I'm saying? Kinetic Gaming says, Proverbs 17:28, King James Version, even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. And he that shutteth his lips is esteemed a man of understanding. Right. And better to be considered wise than to open your mouth and proved otherwise. Also, Marcus X is in the building, says, real talk, he needs help though. Sad to see this. He do. He need a mentor for real. Base Perry says, bro was talking heavy. Now he wants sympathy because the hood called his bluff. Option D. 187 says, on a scale of 1 to 10, this thing's 10.5 stupid. God. Josh the Roofer says, LMAO, Anton, I wasn't seeing anybody pick C. Don't nobody think he actually doing it for the kids? The Gray Way says, I live in the Bronx, New York, and was going to ask, when are you coming through? But never mind. You ain't got to worry about me coming through the Bronx. I'm chilling. Executive Suite MLE is in the building, says, he ain't clout chasing. He was a victim of bam bottoms. He spoke out and people have been taunting him. I grew up a few blocks away. It's bad over there. Okay, well then use your platform to get some justice or file a criminal complaint. Dude's still mad about his buns getting tore up. Did his buns get tore up like that? I thought he just might have got a little bit of wiggle room. Wiggle. Kenneth Percival says, good morning, big coach. This is a cry for help. He's my guy. He needs therapy because his scars are not healed. He did get shot and this might have started a war. Okay, so he went out there and he made it worse. Okay. Jawan Hart says Hassan definitely needs a Snickers. Aaron Woe is in the building, says, with the fireball, says, in Mount Vernon, they throwing dust heads off the roof growing up. Get them high and then tell them they can fly. Man, that's crazy. Kenneth Percival in the building says that's his old hood. He put down bodies over there. Do we supposed to celebrate that? Don't worry. We're going to bring y'all to the front of the congregation. 187 says, not bringing a knife to a gunfight. Facts. AM Mafi says, how Hassan acts is how so-called OGs act. And that's why they led us down this pathway. Jordan in the building says, Anton, you're right. The culture is trash. This man is going wild to the projects, making threats. I say lock these demons up. Shout out to my dog Jordan. Willie Love is in the building, says, Hassan has been trying to put Bam in jail for a few years now. I believe he's crashing out because he hasn't been taken seriously. Then go to the cops and talk to them. Don't talk to us. Kenneth Percival says you will see who lined him up in a white hoodie. Oh. 187 says this man brought a knife to the hood talking. Easy Money is in the building, says possession is real. Hilarious. Possession is real, and this is hilarious. Thank you, my friend. Chris Moore is in the building, says I think he misses Tommy Sotomayor. I don't know what that means. Rod Jones says, yo, Anton, big dog, I'm from NY, and we don't act like that. This is jail culture. I'm shot forever, ever is crazy. Shout out to my dog, Rod Jones. I appreciate you. I'm going to continue to read the super chats throughout the show. Let's move over to Umar Johnson. Now, we haven't actually reviewed anything Umar Johnson related in a long time. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat, because the theme today is black culture, right? And so we have to have the conversation on all sides. Now, one thing about Umar Johnson is that the overwhelming majority of how it is that he moves, I disagree with. But I'm objective enough to actually evaluate every single conversation that he has and then take it not necessarily based off of the messenger, but the message, right? I'm going to be reading that super chat shortly. Shout out to Co-Train. I appreciate you. And so the message that he had on a platform, and let me share it with you guys. Let's just go ahead and get straight into it. And the platform that he appeared on was an interview platform called The Art of Dialogue. The Art of Dialogue has had several different interviews, I believe, that I've checked out by different people. I think that they were even the ones that brought the Keith Murray interview that went viral where he was acting crazy and all of that. So shout out to The Art of Dialogue. But apparently he appeared in this clip on The Art of Dialogue, and he was speaking specifically about rap and hip-hop culture considering its 50th anniversary. Let's deep dive into what Umar Johnson had to say as a result of it, y'all.
I like Fat Joe. One of the things I respected about Fat Joe was when he reaffirmed that Latinos are Africans. He openly said that Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Cubans were African, and they need to start acting like it. Their ancestors came from the continent just like ours did. Now, some people could argue he only said that in order to, keep his validity in the hip hop community. But I believe he was sincere. I believe Fat Joe was sincere. I'm a fan of Fat Joe. I like him. My biggest issue with all the rappers would be, when are y'all going to do more for the community? Because see, my issue is this. Right now, we're celebrating the 50th anniversary of hip hop. That's the big theme right now all over the country, all over the world. 50th anniversary of hip hop.
Has hip hop been around for 50 years? What is it? 2000? Yeah, that's about right. It's 2023, 70s. And to contrary belief, a lot of people think that hip hop was started by black people. Hip hop was started by a lot of different people that were doing a lot of different things, including the B-boys, the dancers, the DJs, the rappers, the taggers, all of the different people that was participating. And it wasn't just black people. It wasn't just black culture. It was a lot of different people that participated in it based off of what they were trying to communicate, and also starting a new thing that was trendy and hot and people didn't know what it was at that particular time. So stop trying to gatekeep something that's actually bad for you. And when I say bad for you, culture is whatever it is that it evolves into that you celebrate and you embrace at that particular time. So if you turn something that used to be unidentified, or you didn't know what it was, and then it ultimately turns into something that is bad, then that means that culturally it's bad for you because you're celebrating the worst of it. And let me also be clear, because I see some people in the chat saying, yep, you're right. Some people saying, no, it's black culture. Okay, so let's have that conversation before we deep dive into it. Let's just say it's black culture, right? But it's also the worst thing for you. Is it something that you still want to gatekeep? Is it something that you still want to champion and keep it for yourself? Is it something that's actually good for you? Because let me tell you something. Even demons and the devil himself is the prince of the air and was a musician. And so if the very thing that you champion the most, that all of the messages that are the worst for you, that's training your daughters to do a certain thing, that's training your sons to move a certain way that you can't even get away from, as we've just seen from Hassan Campbell, if it's the worst thing for you, why do you want to gatekeep it and keep it to be yours? I'm just curious. If it's the worst thing for you, why do you want to gatekeep it and make sure that it's yours? Is yours no? Okay, cool. Let's hear what Dr. Umar Johnson got to say.
We only got 60 days left in 2023. Do you mean to tell me we're going to let this year-long celebration go by and nobody's going to have a serious conversation about whether hip hop has actually been a benefit or not to the black community? I haven't seen a conversation, a YouTube, a town hall meeting, a BET special. I don't see anybody talking about
He's absolutely
the
right.
ramifications, the negative impact that hip hop has had on the black community. Now, the first thing the hip hop artist is going to say, I'm only rapping what I live.
And I hate to say it because, again, a lot of what I see Umar Johnson say I disagree with, but he's absolutely right. Whether you agree with it, whether you disagree with it, there has been no conversation on a major platform, especially from those that continue to push all of this into your communities with no repercussions, but they benefiting off of you. There has been zero. And when I say zero, there has been zero. Listen. Stop focusing on the messenger and focus on the message. It's not about whether or not you like Dr. Umar Johnson or not. It's whether or not what he's saying is correct in this particular instance on this particular platform in this interview. Why is nobody, and I mean zero people, having a conversation or is willing to have a conversation about whether or not it is beneficial or it's had a negative impact overall? Has it been overwhelmingly better for you or has it been overwhelmingly worse for you? Nobody is having a conversation, regardless of where you stand on the spectrum. Zero people are having the conversation as to whether or not this music and this culture that you love and you embrace and you celebrate the most is good for you. Because listen, I see y'all. Y'all feeling some type of way because it's the thing that you like to listen to. But the thing that you don't want to have a conversation about is the very thing that on Monday, right, we reviewed a teacher that said that 5-year-olds are telling her to shut the fuck up, that they want to listen to Pound Town. 5-year-olds are saying that they telling her to shut up, and she's teaching a ballet class. And then when she goes to talk to the mother said, we don't give a fuck about what you talking about. The teacher then became an extension of a parent, and that they can't parent the children because the parents are literally influenced by what is our cultural norms because it spills into everything, not just the music that you listen to. It's infecting your children. So when we had that conversation on Monday, y'all was all in agreement and y'all was saying, oh yeah, she right. It's bad out here. But now when Dr. Umar Johnson, even though I disagree with the majority of what he says outside of this, when he's having a conversation about the culture itself, and whether or not it's actually been overwhelmingly beneficial or bad, and he just brings up the question, now y'all want to personally attack him. Which one is it? Is it bad when the teacher is talking about the 5-year-olds want to talk about Pound Town? Or is it good when Dr. Umar Johnson then bring up the conversation and say, how come nobody throughout the entire year is having a conversation about whether or not it's been beneficial or worse for us? Which one is it? Which one is it? Look at Henry Ross. Dr. Umar is a fraud. He can't even put a sentence together without repeating the same joke. What are you talking about? What does that have to do with the conversation? See, y'all so easily distracted. It makes me so uncomfortable that y'all can't even sit here and you want to throw ad hominem attacks, and that's not even warranted in this conversation. I've criticized Dr. Umar Johnson just as much as anybody else, but I can separate the vessel from the actual message that's being conveyed over to me in order to be able to have this conversation in truth. Which one is it?
you don't live it no more. The minute you start making money, you moved out the neighborhood. So why you still rapping about drugs and death when you don't live around that no more? That means you're a hypocrite. If you're telling me you're rapping what you live, you don't live it no more.
He's right.
And if you're so dedicated to telling the ghetto tale, why did you move out the neighborhood? Why do you send your kids to private schools? So you live in a white neighborhood, you send your kids to white private schools, you moved out the black ghetto the minute you had enough money to do so, but yet you're telling me the reason you're still rapping about death, drugs, jail, and homicide is because that's the life you live. You don't live it no more.
I don't think that I've ever reviewed a video where I agreed 100% with everything that Dr. Umar Johnson is saying, but he's 100% correct. He's 100, 200, 300% correct with what he's saying right now. He is 100% correct with what he's saying and conveying right now. Maybe he didn't get his school open when he said that he was going to get it open. Maybe you don't like the necessarily way in which he communicated with people as far as, listen, that ain't what we talking about right now. He's 100% correct. It is hypocritical for you to continue to capitalize off of something that you are not living when you use the excuse for why you were rapping about it in the first place in order to get rich as a result of it. You sent your kids out to private school, but you still advocating for them to do perk 30s. Where's the lie? Where is it off? Oh, it's just entertainment until your kids is doing perk 30s. Joe mama, it's just entertainment until your kids decide to be the ones that's on the perk 30. When your kids is doing the thing and living a life that they think that they believe that their favorite rapper is doing because they so influenced by it, is it still just entertainment or no?
So for me, I'm looking at hip hop and I'm saying to myself, it is the most influential music genre in the world. 50 years, a multi-billion-dollar industry. And in 50 years, the hip-hop community hasn't built a single relevant institution for the black community anywhere. Think about that for a minute. Think about that. Look, Dr. King began his career with the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955. Dr. King was assassinated in 1968. That means Dr. King had 13 years. Look at what he did in 13 years. Let's go to the Black Panther Party. The Black Panther Party was founded in 1966. The revolutionary phase of the Black Panther Party was pretty much over with by 1971. That's 5 or 6 years. And look what the Panthers did in 5 or 6 years. Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Marcus Garvey, showed up in New York in 1916. He's deported in 1927. 11 years. Hip hop has been around for 50 years. Not a single hospital, not a single school, not a single bank, not a single supermarket, not a single distribution company. How can we call hip hop a blessing to the black community when that type of money being made off of our culture and the community doesn't benefit from it at all?
I need to sit on that for a second. Because I don't know. It sounds right. I need to sit on it. Let me finish hearing what he got to say, and then we're going to mine it out at the end.
So you come to the community and give out a few turkeys. You come to the community and give out a few pair of sneakers. You come to the community and you throw a couple parties. And in exchange for some damn turkeys and chickens and some sneakers, you push death and destruction on our children for a living. And we're supposed to be okay with that because you dropped off some clothes and some turkeys. It's not.
He's right. I hate to say it. I hate to admit it. I hate to join Team Umar on this conversation, but he's 100% right. How is it any different than your favorite drug dealer and your dope dealer in any of your communities and that's throughout history, and they poisoned the entire community and they got rich off of it, and then they came back and they gave turkeys as a result of it? How is it any different? He's 100% right. I don't even hate to say it because I'm going to agree when somebody actually is right, and then I'm going to disagree when I take a different position, and I don't think that somebody else is right. He is 100% right. It's a fact. Everything he's saying is on point. I don't disagree with one thing that he said.
Not acceptable. Until hip hop begins to be a blessing for the black community, hip hop is an agent of white supremacy.
Yeah, that turkey stuff irritate me, bro. I'm sorry, man.
A turkey? A turkey? We don't need no more damn turkeys. And then the rapper will say, well, we didn't invent violence. You're right. You didn't invent violence. There was gang banging before hip hop. Okay, there was drug dealing before hip hop. There was black on black crime before hip hop. But let me tell you where hip hop is guilty. Hip hop glamorized it. Hip hop glorified it. Hip hop, how do you say you make it bigger than what it is? Hip hop put a spotlight on negative aspects of black culture. So no, you didn't create it, but music is a very influential art form. Your brain is controlled by what it hears and what it sees. So we all know people who was influenced by gangster rap and decided to join the gang, decided to start drug dealing, started to gang bang. Because you got to remember, hip hop takes off at the end of the radical period of the Black Panther Party, the early 70s. You know why? Because you had all this passion and young black males needed to take this passion and put it into something. Huey P. Newton just got out of jail. Bobby Seale just got out of jail. Black Liberation Army, some of them are going to jail. So you got all these young black men, but our leaders are being killed. Our activists are being killed. Our revolutionaries are being locked up. But you got this passion. We ain't got the guts to go to the streets. We don't want to get involved in the liberation fight, but we want to do something. So let's create some revolutionary black music. And that was part of the motivation for hip hop. The problem was that after a couple years, the white power structure saw how they could use and exploit hip hop to destroy the image of the black male. And that's when they introduced gangster rap into hip hop. And gangster rap has been dominating hip hop ever since the mid 80s. And ain't nobody saying nothing about it, and ain't nobody doing anything about it as well. Hip hop was supposed to be musical, revolutionary music. And it was for a period of time. When you had your Public Enemy, your Mos Def, when you had your conscious rapper, your KRS-One, your Boogie Down Productions, your Poor Righteous Teachers, your X-Clan, your Queen Latifah, you had it. But once that gangster rap came, and the brothers in the city saw that I could sell 1 million records with no radio play and talk about sex, drugs, and this and that, they ran white to it. And so the rapper and the athlete became the role model in the 80s, because that's right around the time that professional black men started benefiting from affirmative action and civil rights set-asides and white college scholarships. And what did they do when they came home from college? They moved to the white suburb. So black professional men abandoned black boys, so they automatically turned to the athletes and the gangster rappers.
I can't say that I disagree with him. I can't say that I disagree with him. He did a mic drop on that, on a low though. Seriously. I mean, when he's right, he's right. When he's right, he's right. It's nothing that I could sit here and disagree with as far as what he's saying. It's some tidbits in here where I could probably pick apart, but I'm not going to do that because he's 100% right. What else is there to say? What else is there to say? I don't even want to mess up what it is that he said because I think that he articulated himself perfectly for the moment that we have in this conversation. Let me read some of the super chats, and I want to see what y'all going to say because I know y'all in y'all feelings today. Y'all in y'all feelings today. Coltrane said, Hassan's going out sad. He too old for that mess. No, Hassan is a victim of exactly what Dr. Umar Johnson is saying in his commentary. Jonathan M. says, hi, Anton, finally caught you live. I've been watching you since May. Became a bag chaser last week. Shout out to the new Patreon members. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. For those of you that are not familiar, this Sunday on the 26th at 6 p.m. Eastern, I'm doing a pitch of business series where people are basically pitching to me Shark Tank style their businesses. And then I'm going to be determining whether or not it's a good idea. And then I give you guys the funding up to $20,000 total that I'm going to be distributing on this Sunday. I give you guys the seed money in order to vet out whether or not your businesses make sense or not. So shout out to Jonathan M. says from the BX also. We not all talking like that clown. Also, can we get a once a month weekend edition of the Millionaire Morning Show? I don't know. That's a tough sell. Maybe we'll talk about it going into the new year. Nappy Ted in the building says it's for entertainment until your son does a 15-year bid for not snitching. Right? You know what I'm saying? Or till your kids start being influenced by it. Amafai says hip-hop globally gives us negative PR and taints the world's impression of who we are. I agree. 187 says bless up to the Marcus Garvey. Appreciate you. Rod Jones says hip-hop is Nino Brown in us. Facts. Chris Moore is in the building with the 20 ball. Says Anton, Maxine Waters and Jesse Jackson was trying to stop those old school people from using the word 25 years ago. The black community criticized those black leaders for calling the culture out. I'm just saying. But it all comes back full circle, right? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Chris Moore. I appreciate you. My dog, Mr. Lot, says this is the same culture that thinks it's being noble by not robbing drug addicts, but continues to create supply for same addicts. Man, y'all hitting on all cylinders today. Jones FX is in the building, says you were supposed to say, I can't agree with him 3 times, but when he right, he right. When he right, he right. I'm not going to criticize him based off of whether or not I agree with him personally, his own personal life. We're not going to do no ad hominem attacks, but we're going to criticize the message. When he wrong, and when he's right, he's right. I have nothing negative to say about Dr. Umar Johnson. Let's move over for a second, right? Let's move over for a second. Shout out to V1975. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. Let's move over for a second. So it's been a woman that's been going viral, and you guys have been sending me her stuff, right? And she was on TikTok, and I believe her name is called The Plug. Hold on. Let me make sure I get her name right. Her name is, she calls herself The Money Plug. She calls herself The Money Plug, okay? So I want to make sure I give her credit for what she's saying. She calls herself The Money Plug. And she's recently gone viral, and she's created a lot of controversy within our communities and online about her take about Dave Ramsey. Now, I don't understand where all of the Dave Ramsey hate is coming from. I've never seen Dave Ramsey be anything other than a man that stands on principles based off of biblical structure and teachings. And then on top of that, do whatever it is that he can to help people, and he's been rewarded handsomely as a result of it. I've read Dave Ramsey's books. If you guys are not familiar with the baby steps, Dave Ramsey has also inspired Anthony O'Neill to make a video about this, but I have not watched the whole video, but I was able to get you guys to send it to me. And so we're going to have a conversation about it, because you know I love to talk about where it comes back to the money, all right? So this is a woman called The Money Plug, a black woman that gave her opinion about Dave Ramsey and whether or not Dave Ramsey can speak towards financial issues with related to the black community. Make sure y'all hit a like for the YouTube algorithm, subscribe to the channel, and then turn on your notifications. Let's continue to get it in.
Dave Ramsey's advice does not apply to black people. Allow me to explain. What's up, everybody? My name is Marquis. I'm known as the Money Plug on social media, and I'm a board-certified credit repair specialist. The vast majority of the clients that I get are black and brown individuals from communities where they were at or below the poverty line. The common thread between all of my clients is a lack of financial literacy. Predatory lenders love communities where they don't have any financial literacy because that is where they make the most money. The astronomical interest rates in check cash and payday loan places, you don't see those in the suburbs. You see them in urban, poverty-stricken areas. Something else that is always in these areas is the fact that nobody's making enough money to survive. So how are they going to budget their way out of poverty when they're not even making enough money to make ends meet?
So let me stop right there. Let's rewind what she's saying. Let's take in everything that she's saying in order to really, really understand what's being communicated here. Now, first and foremost, I do not know her background. I don't know anything about her. She said she's a board-certified credit repair specialist. I have no idea what that is. As a person that has been incredibly successful and financially blessed myself, I personally do not know what a board certified and what board certifies And again, it's probably just because of my ignorance. I have no clue on what a board certified credit repair specialist is. I don't know what they do. I don't know what their job is. I don't know how they can repair your credit other than, listen, it's three main things that goes along with credit, okay? It's history, meaning the length of time, three main things that affect your credit. It's the length of time that you had certain accounts open, meaning the longer that you keep an account open, let's say you had a credit card, whether it's secured or not, and you got a 13-year history, 14-year history, 15-year history, the longer you keep it open, the better off you are. That's why when you then do a trade line or when somebody puts you as an authorized user to a credit card that has a very, very low balance as far as the credit utilization rate and then the history that goes along with it, it automatically extends over to you and then you get really good credit as a result of it. All right. So that's the number one thing. The number two thing is whether you're making your payments on time. Okay. So if you make your payments on time and you don't have any late payments, especially as it's being reported on your credit. So let's just say, for example, you late, but you're not 30 days late. And if you pay it on time, then you don't get a ding on your credit. And that's also one of the major factors that goes into your credit history. The third thing is credit utilization. This is not a secret. This is not anything that's gatekeeping. This is all public information. This is not something that you need to try to figure out or try to go to a credit repair service in order to figure out. Credit utilization is how much credit is available to you and then how much credit are you using of that. It does not matter if you make all of your payments on time. If you have a high credit utilization rate, it is going to ding you. It is going to kill you. It is going to absolutely prevent you from being able to get approved from some of the things that you want, actually, okay? So credit utilization, if you have a $10,000 credit limit, but you use $9,000 of it, you have a 90% credit utilization rate. In most instances, you want to stay under 10%. Preferably, you want to really be able to pay off your credit cards 100% before reporting, and you don't want to have to pay interest on the credit card. So, in a general sense, credit is length of time, on-time payments, and then your utilization rate. Length of time, online payments, utilization rate. If you have a $10,000 limit, $1,000 limit, $100,000 limit, you want to keep your utilization rate low in order to make sure that it reflects positively on your credit. And then in addition to that, you want to make sure that you don't ever have a missed payment. You keep those accounts open as long as possible without paying interest. Not paying interest meaning that when your statement date rolls around, you want to be able to pay your credit off or the credit card off every single month in its entirety in order to prevent you from paying interest on a credit card. So it's not something that is rocket science. Again, I don't know anything about what a credit repair specialist is or board certified. I don't know where you get certified at. I don't know anything about her background, but in a general sense, that is what credit is. The second thing is she's speaking specifically, and again, I invited her to be able to come on the show. She did not respond. She probably is busy. Maybe she got a job. I have no clue whatsoever. She's speaking to poverty-stricken areas and why lenders, specifically they label them predatory lending, lenders target areas or demographics that may not necessarily make a lot of money, or she's saying that they may not be as financially literate as they should be. Well, part of the reason that is, and it's not that they just target and they don't go into the suburbs, because they do. She just doesn't know that, right? Because she hasn't been to every community that may be outside of an urban area that is a suburb, because I see them and I travel all across the country all the time. What happens is they go to areas where they can be profitable, okay? Meaning that they want people who may or may not be making the best decision to then utilize their service in order for them to continue to make interest and make payments off of what it is that you're under duress about. That is called capitalism. Now, that has nothing to do with Dave Ramsey being able to speak to the black community because let me be very, very clear about this. The principles of money are universal, worldwide, not just in America, not just the white people, not just to the majority of the people on welfare are white people. That is a fact. The majority of people on welfare are white people. Now, we can have an argument about what part of the population, how much of the population they make up. Black people only make up 14.6% of. We could talk about all of that, right? But the majority of the people on welfare are white people. If you go into and you look at any payday loan place, you will find that the majority of people that get payday loans are white people. The majority of the people that calls in a Dave Ramsey show that got all of this debt are white people. The principles of money are universal, meaning that it does not discriminate based off of your race, color, character, gender, or sexual orientation. There are black people that come into this country every single day. Every single day. And so much so that they said that Anton must be Nigerian, and then they created an entire rumor that became apparently true. I wasn't familiar with it. I didn't know that my parents was from Nigeria. I didn't know that I came over into this country. I didn't know that my grandparents immigrated into this country. I didn't know that my great-great-grandparents immigrated into this country. But people are so stuck on being black and broke that even when you're not broke, they automatically label you from outside of the country because you refuse to run into the Victim Olympics. Money and the understanding of finances is a universal language, meaning that you can be on the other side of the world and you can be operating with a completely different currency, but me and you speak the same language because we understand what capitalism is. Me and you, we can speak completely different languages, but we speak the same language because the principles of money are universal. And she's saying because you live in an urban environment where you don't make a lot of money and you don't understand financial literacy, which has nothing to do with your choice, right? Because you decided to sell drugs or your mama decided to have kids out of wedlock and she decided to get on Section 8 and leverage. Listen, you know what's so funny? You know what's so funny about the black community? They understand commerce, capitalism, sales, marketing, and then they apply it to drug dealing. They understand every single thing as it relates to running a business effectively, even to the point where people have sat there and said, man, if they just applied that same knowledge over into corporate America, or if they applied that same knowledge over into starting their own business, they will be incredibly successful. How is it that you understand the principles of how to start a business, how to market yourself effectively, how to take out the competition, how to get sales, how to compete against other people, which is literally the definition of capitalism, except for you doing it in a much more dire environment, where there's dire consequences if you make a mistake, but you don't understand the idea behind commerce and financial literacy. Ain't that wild? So you understand all of the things as it relates to how to steal from somebody and become a Kia boy. You can strip an entire vehicle, but you don't know how to understand the financial principles of money. Ain't that crazy? You know how to implement every credit card hack scam. If you want to understand how to scam, all you got to do is listen to hip hop music. They will teach you every credit card play. They will tell you what websites on the black market to go to. They will tell you how to get over to the dark web. They will tell you what kind of scanners you need to use, how to get the dummy cards. They will tell you how to finesse somebody out of their stuff. They will show you what shops to go to, who to connect with, who the plug is. You seen on American Gangster, my man cut out the entire middleman and he went over to the supplier in order to get drugs over here, and then he leveraged the U.S. military in order to do so. And you sitting here and telling me that you don't understand what the financial principles of money really is. You don't get it. You confused. You know how to go in and sell some bundles. Every black person I know is on Facebook Marketplace. You running the numbers up all across the board, but you don't understand you know how to prevent them from being able to leverage your income in order to get you out of Section 8 housing. And so you make sure that you have them send it to your Cash App. You aware that President Biden is making sure that he's going to be checking your Cash App in 2024. So you telling your clients to pay in cash so you don't have to report it on your income. You know how to start an LLC and get your business credit together. You know how to go over there and finance a truck, huh? You know how to do everything that you want to do when you want to do it, but we don't understand it in our community. Just so happen that we just don't get it because Dave Ramsey don't speak the black culture. You're right. Dave Ramsey don't speak the black culture. I do. You know why? Because I was raised in literally the blackest city in the United States of America. It was called Detroit. I was raised in the blackest city in the United States of America. It's called Detroit. To this day, demographic, look it up. It is the blackest city in the United States of America. We were our own city and we fumbled it. I don't have to be Dave Ramsey in order to explain to you that niggas know how to do what niggas do. They do it. They get done what's important to them when it's necessary. They get done what's important to us when it's necessary. The majority of the people that's homeless and living van life, they ain't black people. One thing about black people is that they stay with a roof over their head. They stay with a roof over their head. They stay with a roof over their head. All of the people that's homeless in these 10 cities, it ain't black people. It ain't black people. Somehow, some way, we can figure out how to make it happen. We take something and we turn it in. We take nothing and we turn it out of something. Listen, I see more dudes repairing cars and having shops that ain't got no license inside of the hood. The hood mechanic is the number one man that have all of the money inside of the community and the commerce, but all of a sudden you don't know how to get a license in order to be able to open up a business legitimately. Talking to me about the finances within the black community. I see people running in the Victim Olympics. I'm tired of y'all making excuses. Y'all been getting money since the beginning of time. But because you came up and you wanted to sell your grandmother's house, now all of a sudden you don't have any wealth and you ain't got no real estate because the top 1% own 90% of the real estate. Man, stop spitting to me facts. You got an iPhone just like everybody else. Your libraries is open just like anybody else. You walk past the libraries and then you go over to the brunch spots and then I hear y'all saying, Pound Town, ski ye, and hey. More women got the ability to be able to go and get BBLs, but their income is still at $24,000 a year. And you sitting here talking to me about the fact that you don't understand financial literacy. So you knew how to get your money up in order to go and get that BBL and them butterfly eyelashes. And you got your weave and your wig done every single day. And you know how to finesse that man out of his child support, but you don't know how to understand how to manage your money correctly in order to pay your bills on time. No, you finessing. You finessing. Let me finish hearing what she got to say. I ain't even get to the video.
I'm not saying that Dave Ramsey is giving bad advice. He is giving good advice for white people. No, because I was right. Dave Ramsey's advice is not for black people. It's not just a poverty thing, and the fact that people latched onto that one piece of my entire argument is ridiculous. I'm not saying that all black people are poor, but the majority of those living at or below the poverty line are in fact black. Look at the—
So y'all the most enrolled, but you the most in debt. Let me cook. Let me let her cook.
Statistics. I'm not saying that people can't find some gems in his advice either. There are always exceptions. What I'm saying is that Dave Ramsey's advice was not curated with black people in mind. The majority of black people cannot benefit from generational wealth because there is no generational wealth. He also—
Because you sold your grandmama's house.
Didn't address any of the socioeconomic barriers that we specifically face. I'm not sure why this man has a chokehold on black households, but we need to stop listening to him. He can—
You know why Dave Ramsey has a chokehold on black households is because people finally want to do better for themselves and they tired of running in the Victim Olympics. People finally want to do better for themselves and they tired of running in the Black Olympics. They realize that the information, because y'all want it both ways. So you want to complain about the fact that people don't share information with you, but then Dave Ramsey shares information with you and all you got to do is open up a book to get it. And then you're going to say, well, don't listen to him because he can't address my specific issue. So first you complain that they gatekeeping. Then you complained that the gate was open and you didn't want to walk through it in order to get the information from him because he just so happened to be an old white man. that's based in biblical principles and scripture, and he lives his life a certain way. And so just because he ain't a nigga that's talking like this, so what y'all want me to do? All right? What you want me to do? So now you got somebody that can speak to your specific issue, because I was raised in the very same communities as you, and I got these little trinkets on my arm in order to be able to impress you a little bit so you can pay attention to what I'm saying. And then I finally show you some of the receipts of my spending summary in order to help you to understand how you need to level up and that you can do it too. And you reject me, you reject Dave, and if they ain't got a bandana on their head or they ain't had a Uzi in one of their videos, you don't want to necessarily take the advice from them in order to improve your life. Dave Ramsey's principles are very, very simple. Stop overspending. Don't go into debt. Spend your money on things that actually can help you. If it doesn't help your life, then cut it out. Don't buy things and be an overconsumer until your assets then pay for your liabilities. Then you can go and buy whatever you want when you want to buy it, and be a good steward with your money to where when you start to become successful, you have a giving mindset and that you help other people too. It's very, very basic. It is not rocket science. It is not confusing. Anybody can do it. It doesn't necessarily have to specifically speak to your hood or be in a rap song in order for you to understand it. And you can start to make the adjustments and do the things that's in your own best interest if you just leverage the information instead of continuing to use it as an excuse as to why it is that you can't become the person that you're supposed to be. And then you blame Dave. You blaming Dave Ramsey. Honestly, I don't even agree 100% with everything that Dave Ramsey says. But I understand why he said it, because he's speaking to people that is starting to get themselves together and may not even be at the starting line. They're behind the starting line. As a matter of fact, Dave Ramsey's advice and his books and everything that he does, and I'm not even a Dave Ramsey advocate like that. He speaks to the people that are behind the starting line that haven't even got up to the starting line yet. So how can you sit here and criticize a man that has given away so much information for free, and you tell people not to listen to them? You're doing your community a disservice. You're doing your community a harm. Let me just say this. Let me say this, right? And then I'm going to read the super chats and then I'll get y'all out of there. Y'all have to, honestly, the worst decisions that I see people make on a daily basis is they align themselves with people based off of the color of their skin instead of the content of their character. You have to do the thing that is in your best interest and take the information that's being given to you no matter what the vessel looks like. If it is a person that can help you, then leverage their expertise. Rich people, most of them that I've ever met, and rich people are not a monolith the same way that black people are not a monolith. Rich people are very, very, very nice, and they are giving, but they don't want to be criticized, or they don't want to be made the villain for helping people, especially when their time is valuable, so that they then charge for it because they want to create a barrier to entry to people that's really serious about what it is that they're doing. Rich people are very giving. They are very helpful. They want you to be successful because they've already made it. And in most instances, they understand the blueprint in order for you to get there. And I'm not talking about people that sold dope in the community and got rich. I'm not talking about the people that did it negatively. I'm talking about people that genuinely have a good heart and they want to do things that's best for society. You're always going to find bad apples in the bunch. And it's not all rich people, but in a general sense, most people that have resources are killed as a result of trying to help other people get them too. There's no faster way to find a villain than a person that's trying to give you information to do what's best for you for free. There's no faster way to find a villain than a person that is giving you information for free. Those are the ones that you hate the most. You will sit there and criticize their outfit, their nails, their sexuality, their gender, whether they old, young, can speak to your specific demographic of people, and they giving you information for free and you don't even know. And so you sit there and you criticize and you call them gatekeepers, but then when they open the gate, you criticize the gate that they opening for you. You don't like the doorway, you don't like the gate, you don't like the house, you don't like the way in which they talk to you. They should. I ain't never seen a group of people sit here and criticize the way that they get the information instead of leveraging the fact that they got the information in order to utilize it to become successful. It's not that the information is gate kept. You can read any book. The principles are universal. Anybody that's ever read David Goggins, anybody that's ever read Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life, anybody that's ever read A Random Walk Down Wall Street, shit, you can go and get Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Does he speak to the black community, or is his principles universal also? You can go and get any book, any financial book, and you can financial life lessons, style, whatever, and you can leverage the information in order to get yourself out of a negative situation. I see people literally giving the same principles across the internet, the same principles. They're translating it in order to make it more appealing for you, so it's not like paint drying, in order to get you interested in financial literacy, and you still walk away from it. You still criticize it. You still don't have nothing to say about it. Listen, I watched EYL, and a lot of people may not care for him, but some people do. But I watched EYL present to you and put in front of you a billionaire, a black billionaire. He also put in front of you white billionaires. He gave you the opportunity to network with each other. And you know what I seen? I seen everybody that went to InvestFest outside of Erica Williams, because I had Erica Williams right over there on my couch, sitting there talking to me about it. And she was like, it was a great opportunity for people to network, get information. You can pick and choose which people you wanted to hear speak and so on and so forth. I watched everybody that had something to do with InvestFest think that they was going to give them a magic pill in order for them to get rich tomorrow. No, you source the information, you network effectively, you can still go on the internet. You ain't even got to go to the library anymore in order to get the information that you need in order to be successful. What more do you want from people than giving you an opportunity to do the thing that's in your own best interest? You want them to force feed you? You want them to give you the meat? You're not even ready for the meat. You still on baby food? What more do you want from them? What more do you want from them? So you have an opportunity and you can choose whether you wanted to go to InvestFest or not. But then you criticize them for putting you in a room with the people and then also curating an environment that is black from people that look like you, because that's the thing that you were complaining about the most. You got vendors, you got speakers. What else do you want? What else do you want? But then if somebody say, okay, nah, we don't want you here. This is the audience that we curating it for. Then you're going to say that they need a race diversity and an equity and inclusion committee in order to get more black people interested in it. I watch Wall Street Trapper every Tuesday. Shout out to Wall Street Trapper. I don't know him personally, but I've seen this show. I've seen Wall Street Trapper every Tuesday go live, which is one of the reasons I don't even go live on Tuesday, because I want people to actually tune into the Wall Street Trapper. I watch the Wall Street Trapper go live every Tuesday, and he's literally breaking down the individual stocks on a basic level that you can understand it and speaking to it in your language for you to be able to leverage that information. And he don't even get the type of live stream that he's supposed to be getting on a regular basis. I go live every morning on the Millionaire Morning Show, and I curate content every day in order to be able to not only get you through your day, but also give you the information, the financial nuggets, and then we mine out, and I allow for you guys to be able to come up here on Friday and have a conversation with me personally, and every week you do the same thing. You disappear, and you're nowhere to be found. I see so many different people giving, even Richard Fain. Me and Richard Fain had a fundamental disagreement when it came to how we market ourselves, or, one specific subject or whatever like that. And I criticize the hypocrisy based off of a conversation that we were having, but I'd be absolutely disingenuous to tell you that the majority of the information that Richard Fain is giving you is not good information. He's a good source. He, in a general sense, at a very basic level, in a language that you can understand, is communicating to you effectively of how it is that you need to be moving in a financial sense. Now, we may disagree about the method, or we may disagree about whether or not you should pay off your home or not, but these are good conversations to have, and I am not going to diss him. Anthony O'Neill is literally a student of Dave Ramsey, emphasizing, communicating, and having a conversation with you about how he leveraged the information from Dave Ramsey coming from a less than stellar environment in order to get himself out of debt and then put himself in a position to be successful. And he's giving you the information every single day, and you guys criticize him for it. I don't care for Anthony O'Neill's take as far as relationships, but that don't have nothing to do with whether or not he understands finances and business, how to market yourself effectively, and then how to use money as a tool in order to continue to make you successful. So many great content creators, bigger pockets. Listen, your algorithm is curated with sexy red light content. Your algorithm does not have the same thing that we have in our algorithm, because we're actively seeking the information in order to leverage it so that we can continue to become more successful and align ourselves with people that are going to give you the information to be successful. I got my dog, Will Motivation. Will Motivation renovates houses, buys, sells, is in the tech industry. He probably going to either come on Friday or he going to come on Monday, and we going to have a conversation, and I want to get his thoughts. We are curating and we are actively working on a regular level, on a regular basis, to give you the information in order to be successful. And you sit here and you whine and you complain, and the only thing I hear people do is criticize the way people look, whether or not they like the way they talk to them, how they gonna say it, what neighborhood they live in, what kind of car they drive. Okay, so then they get the trinkets, then they get the cars, then they get the clothes, then they show you the bank accounts, and it's still not enough. What is the language that black people want in order for them to communicate with you about how you need to be doing the thing that's in your own best interest? What do you want them to say? How do you want them to do it? They took down your favorite heroes. Y'all used to reference all of the rappers and Diddy and Jay-Z and all of them in order to try to substantiate your argument about how you ain't need to cut your hair and how you can still listen to hip hop and all of this other type of stuff. And then Diddy had to come to the front of the congregation all last week, and now y'all turned against him too. So who are your heroes? Who are the people that can give you the information, if not the very ones that write the books, if not the very ones that capitalize off of it and then use the information in order to become successful? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who do you want? Who is worthy to speak to your broke ass? Who hitherto there is worthy enough to be able to have a conversation with you about whether or not you need to get your finances together and why you need to stop having so many kids. And maybe you should be less of a consumer in order to continue to build assets so that you can eventually use the information in order to become more successful and have your assets pay for your lifestyle so you're not broke as fuck depending on Social Security and disability in order to survive once you get 70 years old. Whoeth, thereth, goeth is worthieth enough to speak to the brokest community of people in the United States of America about how it is that they need to get their life together financially. Whoeth, goeth, thereth? I'm just curious. Whoeth, thereth? Circumstantialith, whyereth you speaking to us as though you can speak to our ills within our community? I ain't never seen so many broke people have an opinion about how they get information. I'm not Dave. Man, I'll be like, who the fuck is you, nigga? What, you think you could talk to me? See, I turn up on you niggas. See, I'm not Trap. Trap is going to be nice. Trap speak to the ladies. He's very careful about his words. Richard Fain is older, so he's not really built for combat like that. Dave Ramsey, he's an older white guy, and he's trying to raise his people in a Christian way. See, I'm a different type of motherfucker. You're not going to sit here and say nothing to me unless you're worthy of speaking to me. And if you don't like the way that I'm giving it, to get your ass up out of there and go talk to somebody else that's willing to deal with your nonsense. See, I believe the rod of correction is needed right along with the information that you need in order to... See, I believe in driving the devil out before we can start having a conversation about your financial literacy. That's what really needs to happen. I think we need to pull our belts off. This is how I believe in teaching. Oh, your kid bad in school? Your kid don't want to listen because they've been too focused on what's going on with Sexy Red, huh? See, before we used to get taught, they had to make sure that they drove the devil out so that he had our full attention when it was time to start teaching. Yeah, before we got to school, they made sure that they made the devil go far away from thee. Before they start having a oh boy, we was paying attention. Mama come. We was paying attention. Before we start having a conversation about financial literacy, we gonna drive the devil far from thee. I come from a different era. Trap come from a different space. Rich come from a different space. Anthony O'Neill come from a different space. A lot of people come from a different space, but I come from Detroit, Michigan, where if you said something out of line and I find out that your teacher had a tough time dealing with you, we gonna have some furniture moving in this bitch and put your motherfucking hands on the bed, and if you move, you getting another lick. That's where I come from. And when we went to school the next day, we was focused. because the teachers didn't have to sit there and figure out what's wrong at home because they already knew that they had the support of the parents, and we going to have a conversation in this bitch. Sorry for the church. I'm sorry to the church and the daycares that's watching this. Sitting here negotiating with a bunch of broke people on whether or not you need to listen to the information in order to level up. Who the fuck is you? Man, if you don't go and get a... That's why it needs to be balanced. Everybody can't do it the same way. Everybody can't have a conversation with y'all the same way. Trap gonna give it to you one way, I'm gonna give it to you that other way. You may need a whooping before we start to get into the financial conversation, because you're gonna have to get your character together before we start having a conversation about whether or not you can leverage this information, because you're just gonna become a monster. We're gonna get the devil up out of you first. And we're gonna put that oil on you. Y'all know nothing about that prayer oil, that olive oil? Get some act right in this bitch. Enough of this. Enough of this. Let me read some of these super chats. I'm going to get y'all up out of here for the day. Dave Ramsey don't speak to the culture. V1975 says, Umar got me sitting next to my white wife talking about, you right though. You right, though. Gerardo McDowell, he younger. He said olive oil. He don't know what the olive oil is. He don't know what that prayer oil is. We're going to get there. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Bag for Bag is in the building, says, but how does the black community start to heal from something that has such a hold on black people? With this? This is how they start to heal. Like this. Got to use a little bit of this. Y'all trying to figure out how Nigerian households got a stranglehold on their kids in order to go into the STEM fields. They're using this. Look. Bag for Bag. Let me tell you what tonight. One thing I learned from a lot of these Africans and Nigerians is that they do not spare the rod and spoil the child. They do not spare the rod and spoil the child. Kids be focused. Chris Moore says, dang, Anton, you cooking today or we cooking? And we going to be live streaming tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all. Dialect 1 says, this woman is the poster child of why some black people are internally financially doomed. They focus on the messenger and not the message. Sad. Agreed. M. Flint is in the building. Shout out to M. Flint. Says, I can't take anyone with nose rings serious. Bag for Bag is in the building. Says, she just needs to come out with and say, I need you all to stay broke so I can have my returning customers. Well, we don't know her background, so we only going to speak to what it is that she said, not what we don't know her that well. Quick Octane says, great show, Anton, and blessings to everyone. Latrell M is in the building. Says, last time I checked, Dave Ramsey says math isn't races and personal finance is 80% of behavior and 20% of head knowledge. That's the truth. Jay Denor 89 says, man, Keisha with the bandana is running hella game on Blackity Blacks. A board certified credit repair specialist is actually a thing now. I don't know. I ain't never heard of it, honestly. I can't criticize it because I don't know it. Shout out to my dog Marcus Hill. Says, talk your talk time, dog. He a bag chaser. Real talk. Alvin S says, assets over broke asses. For real. Brock is in the building. Says, this is his Pastor Love offering. Keep bringing forth the good word, Pastor. We, your congregation, love you and appreciate you for it. Real talk. We thanketh thee. Rod Jones is in the building. Says, who was worth enough to speak yo broke a? Facts. Jimmy Andretti says, you treating today, my fellow Detroit Cast Tech brother. Shout out to my Cast Technicians. I appreciate you, Jimmy. Jay Hunter Lee is in the building. Says, cook, brother AD, cook. Adam Jam says, there is no such thing as a timeout with financial literacy. Facts. Let me give you the whole one. And then I got my sis in the building. Sister. From The Color Purple. You ain't never seen that? Don't worry about it. Listen, I like to watch the movies, listen to the music. I'm trying to figure out what's going on in these streets. Thank God my camera didn't freeze up again. Says, amen, Mr. AD. People are fickle. Ask Moses. He led people out of slavery. And they mumbled and complained the whole way. Not one of them entered the promised land except for Joshua and Caleb. Wide is the road, you know the rest, to destruction, and hell hath enlarged itself. Narrow is the path. All right? You know what we talking about, sis. You know what we talking about, sis. Shout out to sis. Let me give her another round of applause. My dog, J Ben, is in the building. J Ben says, I went to school in Nigeria. The teachers still get to tear your way up in class if you act out and disturb the lesson. Everyone gets it. No one snitched. Snitch and get another hit. Snitch and get another lick. Prince Elian is in the building, says the Millionaire Morning Show is the best investment going. And with that being said, Prince Elian, let me invite you guys over into some Teej Hanley 30% off your first order plus a free gift. They are the ones that sponsor the show along with you guys with your likes, your love, your advocating for me to continue to do this by supporting what it is that we do. I never ask for anything, but I absolutely positively appreciate everything. We do have the Pitch Your Business, Invest in Your Business series this weekend on the 26th. I invite you guys, if you are a bag chaser, to go ahead and pitch. Let me know in the comments on my recent post inside of the Patreon that I just put up yesterday of whether or not you're going to be pitching your business. I will be dropping a link to that in that soon, along with all of the other information, the interviews, the full-length interviews that's uncensored, and then in addition to that, the mastermind sessions and the meetups that we have in person. I'm inviting you guys to do me one last thing before we get up out of here. Link to the Patreon is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. Make sure you share this with your family and friends. We don't want to be successful by ourselves. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for making this the greatest show on earth. Send me my 30 million. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Oh, tonight. Live streaming tonight on the Anton Daniels channel. We're going to go a little bit deeper into this whole conversation. On the Anton Daniels channel tonight, 9:45 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. We're going to be rocking out. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.